Good evening, I'm Stan Bassett. I'm running for the Weber School Board. By way of introduction, I have 6 kids that have been blessed to come through the Weber School District. Both have come through and are still there. I've worked with the kids and youth for over 25 years, but quite frankly, you don't really care about that. You're more wondering about specifics professionally. I've run multi-state businesses and been able to successfully stay within expenses, which is a key thing at the school board level. The board's responsibility is to provide the tools and the resources to allow the teachers to do their job. Professionally, I see the challenges our kids face. Our kids are going to face a global competitive environment like we never experienced before. Whether it's customer service, being an audiologist, whether it's being an x-ray technician, those jobs can be outsourced all across the world. Our kids deserve and need a better education to compete in a global environment. There are 3 things I've asked for your attention. 1, student-centric learning. I think it's critically important that we help to revitalize our teaching. Our teachers are forced to teach to the middle. We have the ability with technology to come along and allow kids to learn at their own pace. The kids that are given to move on down the road and be challenged and be educated. The kids that are struggling to take more time. We don't need to teach to the middle and to batch test kids. Second, when it comes to teachers, we're not recruiting our best and brightest. Those that come into the teaching profession do so recognizing the sacrifice that they will make because they love kids. I believe in teacher incentive and teacher compensation. Like any other industry, I believe that we can find ways to measure teacher performance. Okay? Those teachers that do well should be compensated and rewarded. And those teachers that don't do so well, quite frankly, should be asked to move on. We do it in other industries, we can do it in education. Third, revenue and expenses. Here in Weber County School District, we just voted for a $2.7 million tax increase. Last year, with the decline in property taxes and sales taxes, there was an $18 million revenue shortfall. They had to go in and cut $12 million in expenses and still raise taxes by $2.7 million. You're going to be faced with another tax increase next year unless you believe the economy and property values are going to come roaring back. It's not going to happen. We'll be faced with this again. We've got to be more innovative when it comes to the way we run our school board. Last, let me just say, innovation is the key to our economy. We've got to help our kids be more competitive and more prepared to exist in a global environment. Last, let me just say this. I've been dismayed on both parties with the amount of back and forth that's going on with education. We're hiding behind our children as we throw out these slogans that we're going to fund education, we're going to do this and this. Whoever you vote for tonight, please demand of your elected officials specific plans to make education work. Let's not hide behind our children and just falsely say, I'm going to throw funding education, because just throwing funding does not improve student outcome. I'm Stan Bass, I'm here for the Weber County School Board. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here tonight. I appreciate it, and I appreciate Maria for offering us this opportunity. My name is Cheryl Farron. I have been involved in education my whole life. I received my teaching license in the early 1970s. And I started teaching in junior high. I've taught all age groups from 3-year-olds through high school, and I always felt that teaching was the best job in the world. When I stepped down from teaching, I wanted to stay involved, so I did a lot of substitute teaching in the schools so I could stay involved, and I served on several PTA councils. In 1996, I was elected and served on the state school board until 2000. In 2002, I was elected to the Weber School Board, and I am serving on the Weber School Board at this time. The Weber district is the 6th largest district in the state. I've had the opportunity to see schools all over the state and schools all over the nation, and I'm proud to say that Utah schools are wonderful schools. We have a really dedicated teaching pool. You've often heard that we are underfunded, and we are. We're dead last, always have been, and it's a struggle because we have a wonderful natural resource here in the state, and that is our children. And so we spread those dollars very thin. However, what people don't know is that we rank in the 20 top states across the country as far as accomplishments of our children, graduation rates, going on higher education, going on to getting skills. If you want something really fun, walk through a school, talk to the principal, and see the opportunities that are offered to our children. Yes, we have few dollars. In the last 2 years, Weber School District was underfunded $18 million by the state. So we had to make budget cuts. Our teachers did not get raises this year. We are not purchasing new buses. We're not purchasing, doing any projects. We're not purchasing land. Our retirement, Social Security, special education, everything has had a big cut this year. And so it's our challenge to try and figure out how we can still give our kids a quality education with the few dollars that we have. And I think that's what makes being in education so fascinating, is to see how we can get the best quality. We always have troubles with our money in Utah, but Weber is a wonderful school district. It is the second largest employer in Weber County, bigger than Weber State, McCady Hospital. The only one that is employs more people is the IRS. And so our budget supports a lot of people. I would appreciate your vote for Cheryl Farron for the Weber School Board. Thank you.
Aren't these guys great? I really appreciate having such great candidates. I'm also very impressed at how well you stayed within your 3-minute allotment. I took debate in high school and I was never good at it. Yeah. These 3 people on the front row, stand up. They're timing this course. They are from our debate class, and it's Emily Palmer, Carly Minton, and Ben Palmer. Thank you. Do you guys need to stand up, or are you okay? Can we keep going? This is the good part of the program. This is where we get to do question and answers. First, we will take the written questions, and we've asked Jordan Lewis, he's one of our PTSA reps, to come up and ask those questions. The candidates will be given 1 minute to answer the question. So, they have to cut the time down to 1 minute now. You have to keep within that minute. And these guys will keep them on track. You have a microphone, thank you. You have a microphone, you can pass it. Or if you feel like you need to, you can come to the mic. If it's addressed to everyone, you just start at one end and pass it down. Let everybody answer the question. If it's addressed just to certain people, pass the mic. Okay? Jordan, you want to start with questions?
All right, this first question is addressed to Keith Buswell and Monty Harvey. How do you plan on improving teacher salaries and class sizes in the school system?
Good question. As a state school board, those issues are addressed as far as looking at money, talking about the policy. Again, most of the local decisions, it goes back to the local school board as far as how that goes. There's a lot of additional research I need to have just to understand. Class size, I can tell you, I served on a school board in Kansas, elected twice in Kansas over 15 years ago. Many of the same issues, and class size was one of those issues at that time. Paying the teachers more money is important, but I can just say to you that it's not always about money. There's not enough money to pay a truly great teacher. They aren't there for the money. And we have some teachers that are mediocre, and we pay them too much, and it's a tough deal to be able to find a balance there between the money